5:20 on Tuesday morning, right after Memorial Day, and I'm headed to Grand Junction, Colorado. So, we'll see what kind of trip this is. It's pretty dark out still. Got my phone set up. Green light. Good to go. In March of this year, I had agreed to purchase a boat that I'm about to pick up in Grand Junction, Colorado. However, it was winter, there was snow on the road, and other scheduling conflicts got in the way. So time marched on, and now with better weather, I'm on the road to go fetch the boat. It is about 900 miles one way, or about 13 hours of driving to arrive at my destination. I decided to take Highway 50, as I have not been on that stretch of highway beyond South Lake Tahoe, so it's going to be a new adventure. US Highway 50 is a major east-west route stretching 3,019 miles from Interstate 80 in West Sacramento, California, to Maryland, Route 528 in Ocean City, Maryland, on the Atlantic Ocean. The route runs through mostly rural desert and mountains in the western United States, with the section through Nevada known as the loneliest road in America. In the Midwest, US 50 heads through mostly rural areas of farms as well as a few large cities, including Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, and Cincinnati, Ohio. US 50 was created in 1926 as part of the original US highway system. This part of Highway 50 is just amazing. On the left side is a mountain, and on the right side is basically a cliff. I can't even imagine when it was built. Some folks said, yes, we will build a road right here along the cliff of this mountain. It's rather an amazing engineering feat. And the views from this part of the highway are amazing, with Lake Tahoe in the background. It was about 1970 when we were here in the winter for some snow skiing with my family. I was about 10 or so. It was morning, with below freezing temperatures, with snow on the rooftops, in the trees, and on the ground. It was quite picturesque. The air was crisp and cold. We drove by this area, and on a picnic bench was a man laying down. I said, that guy is dead. We need to stop and help. Of course, my dad continued on, explained my observation away. Mom and my brother paid little attention to what I had shared. We come back from breakfast about an hour later, and the emergency vehicles are there with their flashing lights. The man laid there on the table and was in the same position, hadn't moved a muscle. Yep, dead and frozen. I don't know who that man was, or what the circumstances were that led to him deciding to sleep on top of a picnic table in the freezing cold of a winter night. What I can share is that I never forgot about him, and I think of him every time I pass through South Lake Tahoe. Here we are at the state line of California and Nevada. Gambling is lawful in Nevada and not in California. It is easy to see the transition from California to Nevada, where the casinos are right on the border. I wasn't feeling that great and wasn't thinking very clearly. I'm not sure on the sequence of events, but I got off of the freeway to get gas and use the restroom, not being present to the fact that this was actually my exit to Highway 50. It was only when I was going to get back on the road did I notice that the Highway 50 east signs were pointing the other way. Highway 50 is quite interesting. Wide open lands, cattle grates, 2 lanes, and almost no traffic. Highway 50 is more of a country road than a major national highway, and it's wonderful to travel on uncrowded roads. Sand Mountain is a 600-foot tall sand dune that is about 2 miles long. The entire sand field covers about 3.25 square miles. It is known for its singing phenomenon, where wind can cause the sand to produce low-pitched sounds. The area is also popular for off-highway vehicles, including sandboarding and sand skiing. Each year, Sirius XM Radio broadcasts free to non-subscribers over the Memorial Day weekend and the week thereafter. My timing was perfect. I had satellite radio for the entire trip, which made the time pass very easily. Of course, this is an opportune time to listen to music that isn't played on the radio much anymore. It was fantastic, listening to music from yesteryear that brought back many memories, some great memories, some sad, and many others in between. Remembering those who have passed on and how much I miss them, remembering friends, long lost to time and distance, and shared adventures, and the life lessons learned occupied my thoughts for most of the trip. Austin is a small town in Lander County, Nevada. In 2020, Austin had a population of 167. In 2023, it is said to have a population of 47. It is located on the western slopes of the Toyabe Range at an elevation of 65-75 feet. US 50 route passes right through the town. The Austin area was originally occupied by bands of the Western Shoshone people. The city of Austin was mapped out in 1862 by David Buell during the American Civil War, and the Union was eager to find new sources of the precious metals, especially gold, to support the war effort. The city was named after Buell's partner, Alva Austin, during a silver rush. Silver was reputedly found when a Pony Express horse kicked over a rock and observers noticed the silver. By the summer of 1863, Austin and the surrounding area had more than 10,000 people. Major silver production ended by 1887, although there was a slight revival in the 1910s. In the 1950s, there was a great deal of interest in uranium, but the ore proved to be of low quality. Gold and silver mining has continued sporadically with low levels of production. High-quality turquoise is still mined in the area in small quantities. The Great Basin National Heritage Area straddles the Nevada-Utah state line. This quiet expanse of the continent's basin and range is characterized by long, high-elevation desert valleys separated by steep, narrow mountain ranges. This is a place of distant horizons, starry night skies, and a surprising diversity of flora and fauna, including the ancient bristlecone pine. Covering 16,000 square miles, it is home to only 23,000 people. It is one of the least densely populated regions in the country. Ghost towns dot the landscape to recall the dozens of communities that boomed, busted, and disappeared. It was 2:30 thereabouts. I left at 5:30 this morning. The first 8 hours were pretty easy, but I got pretty tired, so I tried to take a nap at a gas station. I think I had my eyes closed for about 4 minutes, and that wasn't producing any good results, so I'm back on the road. We have 395 miles to go. I don't think I'll make it today, but the further along we get, the shorter distance I have to drive tomorrow. So it's we're still in Nevada, and it's quite beautiful here. It's green and lush, and not the Nevada I'm used to seeing. I know that Georgia would love to dig for fossils. Well, not really. Not at all. I took a short break here and shut my eyes for a bit before getting back on the road. We're in Utah now. Highway 257 cutting over to the other part of Highway 50. Bit of a shortcut. got it under control.
Okay, well, you see a town called Clifton. There's a Best Western and Palisade. So I don't know if that's helpful as you're driving. No, I don't think that's helpful, honey. Well, all I can say is pull off sooner rather than later so you don't end up with a long stretch that you can't find something.
Yeah, I'm going to be fine, honey.
Okay.
All right.
Honey. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye, sweetie. Highway 50 is dubbed the loneliest road in America. I would offer that it may be the most beautiful drive in the nation. The vistas are amazing. To see and be in these wide, mostly untouched land areas is so amazing. I took a few short naps along the way. After the sun set, I stopped filming and continued toward my destination. I arrived in Grand Junction and got settled in by 10:30 p.m. It was 17 hours of travel time, and as you might imagine, I was pretty tired. Well, here it is, a 1966 Mandella short deck V-drive. This boat has a velvet drive transmission, so it has forward, neutral, and reverse, unlike many old school V-drives that only have an in-gear or out-of-gear setting.
I don't know if you care for any of these life jackets or whatnot, but...
Which, by the way, can only be shifted with the engine off.
They're yours if you want them.
Understood. Thank you. Evan was there to greet me. Frankly, I was so tired I could hardly think. Evan was great and gave me plenty of time and space to think and process. I really didn't inspect the boat all that well, so I just moved forward with the sail. This extra woodwork that, oh, it's just laying in place.
Yeah, it's just...
Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. Is that the same for the ones up here as well?
All of them will just lift right out.
We did all the paperwork together. We went to the bank and I got him paid. We said our goodbyes, and I went to the DMV to get a temporary license for the trailer, which cost $7.66. I went back to the property, installed a license plate, hooked up the boat, and took it to Les Schwab for new tires. So came to Les Schwab for new tires. Turns out I need new bearings as well. So the guys here are nice enough to take care of me. My appointment was for the next morning, but the guys at Les Schwab were great and got me started right away. Alright, we're in Grand Junction. The boat's behind us. Kind of see back there, sort of. Anyways, we got 4 new tires, new bearings for the bearings and seals for the tandem axle trailer. Went down the road on the way home, and I forgot to check the oil on the engine, so I pulled over, checked the oil on the engine, and felt the rims to see how they were doing, and one rim was hot. So I went back to Les Schwab. They adjusted all the tension on the bearings and replaced one seal. I'm back on the road again. It is 4 o'clock Grand Junction time, Colorado that is, and I got a couple of days to travel to get myself home, and We'll go from there. Oh, windy?
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing it's blowing 30 to 40.
Oh gosh, that's very windy.
Yeah, it's super windy.
Wow.
Yeah, normally winds don't bother the truck, but it was at 65, it was blowing me all over the place. On the way home, I decided to take Highway 80, which is a bit longer, but there is more traffic, meaning that if I had an issue, getting support on the road might be easier. On Google Maps, I selected my route and got started. I don't know how many times Google Maps changed my routing and took me in a different direction. It was quite confusing until I figured out exactly where I wanted to go and mostly ignored Google Maps. Along this portion of I-70 and 50, there are many signs such as this, where at the bottom it says no services. So it's important to plan your fuel stops so you don't get stuck out here in the middle of the wilderness. Okay, sweetie.
To fill your time. Okay, honey. Thank you for calling.
Okay, bye, sweetie.
Bye, sweetie.
Bonneville Salt Flats. Many hours later, I arrived home. Now it was time to unload everything. It was a quick trip. One day to drive to Grand Junction, Colorado on Highway 50, which is amazingly beautiful. The second day included purchasing the boat, visiting the DMV in Grand Junction for a temporary license, going back and picking up the boat, loading up all the gear, going to Les Schwab for tires and bearings, and getting on the road only to have to return to Les Schwab as the castle nuts were too tight and the wheels were overheating, but that got all sorted out. I got back on the road later that afternoon and traveled 200 miles before stopping for the evening. The third day, I returned home and now unloading the boat. I am quite tired. Getting out for a road trip on the open road is good for one's soul. Seeing the natural beauty of this country, mile after mile, is good to see and experience. Highway 50 is amazing, and I'm glad to have seen the majesty through California, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. On Friday morning, I went to the Folsom DMV. I arrived without an appointment at 7:30 a.m. The office for non-appointments opens at 8. I was served by Roberto and Alberto. Both gentlemen were amazing, and they took amazing care of me. Of course, over the years, the Folsom DMV has always done a terrific job. So thank you to Roberto and Alberto at the Folsom DMV for your support and service. Exhaust tip downturns. Should make the boat quieter. Interesting. Okay, here we have a 1966 Mandella V-drive. This boat has through the hull transoms. I'm pretty tired.
Oh, is this the new boat?
Yes. Hey, Rosie.
Come say hi, and then I can grab you.
Come here, buddy.
Come here, Rosie.
There's something about me that Rosie doesn't like.
No, it's not. Yeah, she's the kind of a guy thing.
And thanks for watching.